I'm Anil Kumar, and in these set of videos I'm going to discuss a test paper, a very recent test paper, so that you can understand the concepts and score like most of my students can do, almost 100%. So I've modified some questions so that we can learn as we try to understand the questions from the test paper. So here is the first one. The first question has been modified a bit. Instead of finding which one of the relations are not functions, I have given you the relations which are not functions. And now the question is, explain why the following relations are not functions. Since I find at times that students find it difficult to communicate, so we'll have some exercise on explaining why the given relation is not a function, right? So we have three relations here. The first one is given in the set form. We have these coordinate points 2, 3, 3, 2, minus 2, 3, 2, and 5. Reason out why this is not a function. Then we have an equation x squared plus y squared equals to 25. This is not a function. Explain why. And we have a mapping diagram, right? So you can pause the video, understand, and then write down your answer. Here is how we can explain that these are not functions. The first relation, you'll see 2 is mapped to 3, 3 is mapped to 2, minus 2 is mapped to 3, but 2 is mapped to 5. So what we see here is 2 is mapped to 2 points, right? So element 2 in the domain is associated with 3 in the range and also with 5, right? So do you see these 2 points? The element 2 in the domain is associated with 3 and also with 5. So this is a relation but not a function. It is not a function since it is one to many relations, right? So if you have one to many relation, right? In that case, it is not a function. In this case, we really don't know when we say value of f of 2 is what, whether it is 3 or 5. That is why it is not a function. I hope that's absolutely clear. The second one is x squared plus y squared equals to 25. Now, this is not a function. How can you explain? We can isolate y and explain. We can sketch and explain. So there are two different ways for sure we can explain this, right? X squared plus y squared equals to 25 is actually a graph, right? Which represents a circle. So it's a circle whose radius is 5, square root of 25. So that is a circle, let us say 5 minus 5 plus 5. So from origin as the center, we have a circle with radius 5. Now here, if I draw a vertical line, then it intersects at 2 points. So it fails the vertical line test. It fails because for a given value of x, we don't know which value of y we are talking about, right? So that is how it fails, right? So one way is also that what we can do is we can place a value of x. We can give x some value. Let us say 0. So if I write x as equals to 0 and then try to figure out what y should be. So y should be what? Y should be equal to square root of 25. So whenever you do square root, you have to do plus and minus, and that gives you two values, plus minus 5. Now in a relation, if there is even one point where you get more than one association for that x value, then it is not a function. So you can do like that also. A general solution to this will be that you solve for y, correct? That is the algebraic solution. We can solve for y. So we say y squared equals to, we can say 25 minus x squared, or y is equals to square root of all this, right? Square root of 25 minus x squared with plus and minus sign, right? So y value has this plus part and the negative part. So for any value of x in its domain, we can have two values of y, right? Except for the intercepts, the x-intercepts, correct? So that is why this relation is not a function. Now think about part C. Now what is wrong with this? It looks perfectly fine, the mapping diagram, right? Now here, tell me, what is the domain? Check the arrows. Now in this case, this is domain, right? Since the arrows are pointing from right to left, and that is range. Now that is confusing at times. So I'd like you to see the question properly, right? Understand. So the arrows are from domain to range. So we find that 4 is associated with +2 and -2, two values. And therefore, this relation is also not a function. Do you understand? So that is how we can explain them. It's kind of very important to explain why the relations are not functions. I hope with this example, this concept is clear. Thank you and all the best.